Hey everybody, and welcome back to our Medieval Total War Holy Roman Empire Glorious Achievements campaign, where we are trying desperately to right the things that are going wrong. As we can tell here, our Emperor Ludwig V, 39 years old, looking at zero influence here, absolutely zero influence, and that has been a result of his losses in some recent wars that we've been having, some failed crusades, lots of problems, and all of his problems are compounded by the fact that he was crowned in Tripoli, which is very far away from the homeland indeed. But this is the episode where that may change, where we may be able to fix these things. As we saw at the end of the last episode, I got all of these fights ready. We are attacking Provence this turn. We are attacking Milan this turn. We are also attacking Austria, trying to take this back. We're counterattacking in Flanders as well. We're going to have to counterattack Freezeland later, probably after this one, assuming all goes well. And we will be assaulting Silesia this turn. The strategy here is we basically held off on attacking the Italians until the timer wore out from a previous excommunication warning that the Pope gave us. And so what we're doing now is, well, we attacked the Poles to get the Pope to give us a warning. We got that warning, and what that does is, since the Pope can only really track a single excommunication warning at a time, he can only warn you off one faction at a time, that gives us a good 10-12 years during which we can make war at the Italians. So we waited to get that warning, and now we're going to hopefully draw our war with the Poles to a quick close. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, but that's the goal. We're going to get down here, assault this castle, which has some royal knights in it, and hope that the Poles are so distracted with the people of Novgorod and their war with Hungary that they will be happy to accept a ceasefire that we're going to offer with our 3 Valor emissary here. So that's going to be the goal with that. And with the Italians, I'm really going for Milan, and I'm going for Tuscany. I want to grab those. Absolutely, yes, I want to get Provence. Yes, I want to get Austria for sure. I want to get back the northern seaboard, the access to trade with the Baltic and the North Sea. This is all really important for our economy, which is kind of limping along here at 748 a season. So let's just end the turn here, and we'll have to resolve a bunch of these battles. Now, some of them maybe just retreats. The AI may decide that they'd rather not hang around and fight them. But some of them we're absolutely going to have to fight. That castle assault is going to happen. Okay, the Poles are just going right at us. They attacked us. Where is that? Franconia? Well, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, the Byzantines are in Aragon? Okay, so they counterattacked us in Silesia with their king. Oh, that's very, very interesting. Okay, I guess that makes sense. We had an assassination going against this this general here, but that failed. He was a rank 3 assassin, and that failed. So the rank 0 guy definitely didn't succeed. And here we go. This we may not get. We may not get this. Oh my gosh, we're not going to get Silesia. Okay, well, here's the thing. We could... Do we want to try to hold them at the bridge? Because they are attacking us, and since we technically control the province, attacking from Poland into Silesia does get you this nice bridge battle, just a single bridge to defend. However, this is a 3-star king, and all of his men have 1 valor, and all of his men are royal knights with an armor upgrade. All of our men are 0 valor nobodies led by a 0 command star urban militia guy. Now we do have these feudal sergeants. They may stand for a little while, and we do have archers. You know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And now the only way that we could possibly get the fort is if we kill absolutely everybody in this battle. And I don't think that's going to happen. So, unfortunately, I think this just means we're not going to get Silesia. At least not yet. We're going to have to hold off on that. You know, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, we lose here and the Poles attack us in our homelands, and then we have to defend them and get excommunicated as a result. That would be the absolute worst case scenario. But I'm thinking, assuming that doesn't happen, which I guess we'll have to see, what might happen here is we don't get Silesia, right? And that's okay. I'm kind of okay with that. All right, we also have Slav Javelin men. Put them over here on the right side of the advancing knights so that they can maybe hit the unshielded side. I think that does play a role. And we'll put the archers... Jeez, I don't know. I guess we want to put these guys pretty close. Let's see, something like that. We want to close them all in pretty tight here. But I could live without Silesia. It was useful for one of our glorious achievement objectives, right? It's useful to have it for that purpose. But otherwise, you know, apart from the points, it's kind of nice to have in terms of protecting our interior a little bit, because us not having it does mean that the Polish faction can reach us even in a place like Franconia, which is, you would think, fairly interior, but it's really not. It's accessible from Silesia. So let's go with this. Now, maybe they'll send them across like one or two at a time, and they'll hold back the king. And maybe the king has some bad morale traits. I don't know. But if they accept a ceasefire, that's really what I want. I want them to accept peace with us. The other thing I want to do is just pin them here and get them all surrounded. They don't have any archers, so this is going to be very nice. I'm not sure if hold position is really worth it, but yeah, let's do it. That's kind of what you're supposed to do, right? Holding a bridge. All right, that was nice. And let's get our urban militia rate down. I think I will go ahead and start firing my javelins. All right, the king is coming. Are we actually fighting? I'm not sure if we're actually fighting. Let's go ahead, let's send them in, take them off hold position. Same thing with you. Take you off hold position. This looks like they're moving back and forth in a weird way. I never use this formation, but these guys are moving around so much. It's very odd. All right, now we're out of javelins, which is really unfortunate. But we've got archers still with full quivers. And I'm going to try to intercept this attack. Oh, no, they're coming right for me. Okay, fair enough. I'll keep firing at the king. All right, we're down to 2 Royal Knights here, 8 here, and 3 here, if that's accurate. The guys are losing badly. But yeah, we can't let any of them leave. If we want to get Silesia, oh, we're seeing some routing. All right, throw in with the general. Ten Royal Knights here. 2 here, 1 here, and 4 here. All right, you guys got to stay put. Looks like we got rid of one of those units. And seeing some routing of our feudal sergeants, but our urban militia are coming in and they're doing okay. They haven't lost too many men. And great, okay. We might get this. Oh, that was my other urban, my feudal sergeants. That king took them out pretty handily. All right, I'm going to keep firing right into that. 3 Royal Knights. Can we do it? Can we cut them down without killing our own guy? I mean, obviously we're firing right into the backs. Let's bring you over here. And you know what? Maybe I'll run you to the other side of the map just so that this guy doesn't have a place to run away to. And he's down to 1 man. Fleeing. Kill him. Kill him. Please kill this guy. Kill this guy. Do not let him out. Do not let him out. Come on, come on, come on. Slav Javelin turn around and try to take him out.
Enemy king lies
Yes.
dead.
Okay.
A noble man making a good
Okay.
head.
All right. We got it. Hopefully we got Silesia. They can't move anything else in, right? All right, Flanders, they retreated. They're going to retreat to Freezeland, which stinks. But we got Flanders back. And they completely left? We don't have to fight a siege there. Okay, but they attacked me in Toulouse. How did they even do that? Probably by sea. And so I'm going to retreat to my stronghold here, I think. What do I have in there? A keep with upgraded walls. Looks like a flat open field. No point in that. Okay, we'll worry about that later. You know, if they want Toulouse, honestly, I'm kind of okay with it. They can make that their new little place. Provence, they're withdrawing. Austria, withdrawing. This is going to make our future battles harder. Aragon, the Spanish retreat, and the Byzantines now own Aragon. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is nuts. Okay, Milan, retreating. Okay, the King of Poland has been killed. His heir has taken over command of the Polish. General dies of old age, fair enough. And Freezeland, they're still holding us under siege there. We've got a general promoted. This is the defender of Silesia. Fantastic. Okay. Good. We've got an enemy assassin of the Spanish, probably. And here we've got an assassin of the Polish. Okay, so the AI factions are sending their stuff after us. And we've got a Prince Lothair and heir matures. All right. Strange and Killer Instinct. See, and again, because our king is down here in Tripoli, all of our heirs are going to mature down here. We can't get him back home. So that is a problem. Okay, he also picked up the irritable trait, which is just fine, honestly. Prince Herman is famously brave. That's great, I guess. Let's check out the goals here. So we got Provence back, but we don't have Freezeland, so that's gonna cause us some trouble. The next time any of our points are going to be counted is 1205. We've got 10 years, 10 turns, so plenty of time to get some of this stuff back. Again, stuff like Drangnak, Austin, and the Holy Roman Empire, I'm not that concerned about. We've got this is actually counted in 1204, but it'll also be counted again in 1250. We got time for that. Drangnak, Austin, 1204, and then 1260, and then 1320. So we've got time. But this is all we need to do with Poland in terms of this goal, the Drangnak, Austin, because the other two provinces required for that, Prussia and Livonia, are currently held by the people of Novgorod. So I'm not interested in fighting them right now, and I'm not interested in fighting with the Polish anymore. I feel like I've secured our western front by taking Silesia. This is, as we've seen, a nice river crossing province, and we own it. So fantastic. I'm going to give this guy the governorship, Voivode of Silesia. That ought to make people happy. We're going to go down to very low taxes. That's 101. With him being the governor, that's 102. There you go. He's already doing great stuff. So he's got 2 dread. I would have thought that would have a bigger impact. Not really sure why not. But we get a lot of facilities here. We've got the curtain wall, which is really nice to have. And we've got the ability to train archers and woodsmen, which is interesting. I really like this unit. And just, you know, more kind of basic stuff. But the really nice thing about this is the Poles did what we have not done yet, and that is they actually built an armorer. So we've got that. We can start making Silesia a training province, and I think I'm going to start doing that right away. I don't think there's anything here that I particularly want to retrain, so I'll just go ahead, I guess, and go with some spearmen. Now, over here, he's got 2 influence. Let's see if he'd be interested in a ceasefire. And speaking of influence, let's check out our king. He's got 1. He's back up to 1. So you command little influence in matters abroad. Other factions are highly unlikely to take heed of what you have to say. All right, very, very problematic, of course. And that's going to get worse if we get excommunicated. Hopefully, though, we won't. Hopefully, we will not have to fight the Polish. Again, the problem is this season, let's say this turn, after this turn, we're going to know how they feel about us, right? Like, if they accept the ceasefire, great. And I'm hoping they will, because they are at war with a total of 3 factions, right? They're threatened on every single possible front. And so hopefully they'll be reasonable. They don't have a bunch of forces around here. Their king going into Silesia in that battle there really seemed like just desperation on their part. So I'm hoping they're going to say yes. If they don't, however, and if they do something crazy, like take these few royal knights and send them into Brandenburg or Saxony, if we lose, or if we withdraw to the castle, we will not be able to counterattack within the next 10 years without incurring excommunication. So obviously a big problem there. Now, we're going to have some river battles potentially. Actually, no. Yes, if they go from Pomerania to Brandenburg, but if they go from Poland to Brandenburg, no river. If they attack Silesia, they're going to be a river. If they attack Saxony, no river. So a few ways they could get around the choke point issue. I'm thinking it might be good to send a unit into Brandenburg that's kind of halfway decent, and that is this, look at the loyalty though, feudal sergeant unit. A lot of my guys have terrible loyalty as a result of my king's terrible influence. So I think probably malicious sergeants would be useful, since we just did spearmen in Silesia. And in Bohemia we can get mercenaries. I don't think these guys are really worth it though. Let's see. In Bohemia, we could go with... We've got some spears. We've got some archers. I think we want to go with some more spears, because they could attack that. We can also move some urban militia over. I think I will. And we can also feed in some units from Franconia, theoretically. The issue here is that we do need some units if we're going to take back Freezeland. Now, this guy only has 2 loyalty, but I don't think we can afford to wait around for him to rebel, because it probably won't happen, and we only have a season or 2 before this keep falls. And I'd rather not lose Freezeland, right? We can't allow the Italians to just have this. Very happy that we got Flanders back. Let's go ahead and immediately go with some public order stuff, just because I'm very concerned about losing this. And the issue here, I don't think they're going to attack this turn out of Friesland. Like, they could theoretically lunge down to Lorraine, Franconia, or Saxony. I don't think they will, because they've still got this siege to resolve. So probably what we'll want to do is hit them. There'll be no river. It's going to be a pretty much flat map. Shouldn't be much woods at all. So let's see. This guy seems pretty safe to bring up. They're fielding a good amount of archers, a couple of units, or a unit and a third of Italian infantry, as well as some urban militias. So for us, we've got more archers than they. We can't afford to leave a lot behind in Flanders in terms of garrison, so that does become a bit of an issue. I guess we could... Yeah, we need to be careful about how we're moving these disloyal generals around. But this guy is looking decently loyal. We could move this spearman up to Franconia, move these guys into Friesland, but yeah, having 30 spearmen is not that helpful. I think we got to move the urban militia up. They'll join the attack. You can stick around and govern. Let's see, what could we get away with here in terms of public order? On very low taxes. I guess we could leave behind 80 of these. I think I'd rather leave this guy, because these Slav warriors have been really underperforming. Or maybe they're performing exactly as expected, and I've just been expecting too much. That could be the issue. Now, we've got this 3-star general here, who isn't really needed to babysit anymore. I think he was slightly more loyal than other stuff we had at the time. But it might be good to have him... Let's see. maybe down in Provence. Alright, and that's still not low enough. Okay, so we need to leave something else. Yeah, I guess we could leave this 1-star urban militia. Oh gosh, we're going to need to leave a lot. I think we're just going to have to risk it. Oh wait, that's 182? Why is it 182? Why is the loyalty... Was I just... Oh, because I moved the entire army back. That's why. Okay, so 31 urban militia is only a tiny bit. But with that, we can move in some less loyal guys. I want to keep the archers and spearmen in Ile-de-France, though, because I'm a little concerned about the Danes. Not that they're massing on my borders or anything. It's just that they really could just run me over. So I think having slightly decent numbers is good there. The English could certainly attack, right, if I have a tiny force here, but there's not much I can do to prevent that. Let's go with a bishop, just because I can. I'd rather have that, I think, than peasants. And I don't know if we can afford to leave units, leave provinces completely unmanned. I'm already taking a risk here, because even though Bavaria is showing at over 104%, the fact that the only men here are these 47 guys means that we may still get a rebellion. You can get a rebellion even if your loyalty is super high. If you have fewer than 100 men, there is that chance. So that could be an issue. I want everybody in Saxony to just stay here for now, because we're under potential threat from the Polish faction. Alright, the real question is, can I beat the Italian army? If we get rebels in Flanders, we can come back and deal with it. I think we can beat the Italian army with this. Alright, this guy is a charismatic leader. He's a true zealot. He's got a pretty upgraded army. But it's really 1, 2, 3, 4 units of archers. The cav is kind of smallish. He's got more men than I do by kind of a good amount. Alright, so let's bring those guys in. I think we'll do that. Okay. And then we need to adjust things. Oh, whoops, we can't. Okay, we'll go with another spear unit in Franconia just for the numbers. Flanders, we can't get any lower there. And in Austria, I think we're going to... Let's see, do we want to resolve the siege here, or do we want to move on and hit Venice, maybe? I guess one question is, what's the Italians' diplomatic situation? So they're allied with the Hungarians. That is very worrying. They're also allied with the Pope. They're allied with the people of Novgorod and the Almohads and the Egyptians. Less of a big deal there. But, you know, theoretically, the Hungarians could pile in here trying to relieve this siege. What I could do instead is take this army and move it right down to Venice, right? This army would not be able to help. Their general is just sitting around in Austria. The Hungarians probably wouldn't attack it, or if they did, they'd probably give it back to their ally, right? Like, if Austria is emptied by me, in Venice, I don't think they have... Well, okay, they've got some stuff, but we would have favorable terrain. So one trick about this... I'm looking at the text that appears at the bottom here. So you mouse over the province you're invading into, and it tells you the location, vista, etc. Where it says vista, mountains and flatland, that tells you what you are going to face first. So that tells you the order. So first there's going to be mountains, and then it's going to be flatland. So from your perspective, as it looks on the map here, you're coming down the, I think, the Julian Alps. Is that what these are called? So you're basically starting from the mountains and you're going down to flatland. Notice how it's reversed if you're attacking from Venice to Austria. Flatland and then mountains. So this is an important, I guess, subtlety of the way this is worded. So we would have favorable ground here is what I'm trying to say. And we've got a ton of Swabians. I mean, we could assault this and take it back, but I'm kind of thinking we're not at war with Hungary yet. We could come back and get this a little bit later. We'll see what they'll do if we attack them in Venice, right? I wish I had like an army full of archers and like one good general that I could just leave here. But we could also crank up taxes to very high. What would that lead to? probably would not lead to a loyalist rebellion in my favor, unfortunately. So I guess we'll skip that. Here, we've got a lot of units that are kind of crap, but they've got some as well, and we've got heavily armored guys who I think would do quite well here. In terms of what we've got going on down here, here's the other thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking maybe just forget Provence. In fact, yeah, let's move this guy down here where he's going to be of some use in Milan. And let's take the Provence army and we'll just pursue the Italian Doge kind of relentlessly. He's already a good runner. He's 44 years old. He's got some decent traits otherwise. This one is giving loyalty. I had a little bit of a hitch there. Sorry. But this one is giving +1 loyalty to all its generals. So that is of course helping, and I guess we can't make him lose that trait or anything, but he does have some disloyal generals, and so what I'm thinking is if we attack here, he's going to withdraw, right? He's going to go back to Tuscany. We attack to Tuscany, and he's going to withdraw or have nowhere to go, and we could ransom him, right? And then he ends up maybe back in Toulouse and Provence, and who cares? Maybe Austria, right? So I think that's going to be the goal here. I don't even know if I want to bother. All right, this is going to be more than 5 years. So I guess we kind of do need to assault Milan. Which, hey, I mean, that'll be good for our influence, right? We've got enough men here that we can take it. It does not have any upgrades. It would say if it were like, catapult towers or whatever. So I think we should be just fine there. We got to get these guys under a somewhat loyal general. But you know what? I'll take this guy up into Swabia, or maybe over to Burgundy, and just to kind of help with loyalty. You can stay here, and you can go down to Tyrolia. You archers, let's see, who are we leaving? This guy. He's going to stay as Duke of Tyrolia, and we've got a Swabian we can bring down. I'm partly tempted to bring some of these units just over here, but that's pretty foolish. So we'll bring them down to help out in Venice. Okay, I think that's going to be the goal. We're going to be assaulting Milan, invading Genoa and Venice, and Freezeland, and hoping against hope that the Polish do not attack us. And, maybe we should just go ahead and train these mercs just to try to ensure that they're not going to sense weakness, right? We're training. We need to train here as well. Training in Saxony, training in Franconia. Let's go ahead and... I kind of feel like I don't want to bother with more urban militia, but on the other hand, it kind of feels like we have to. Let's go with a feudal sergeant unit here. Actually, no. We'll get those guys in Saxony. We'll go with more Swabians. And yeah, this is all looking pretty rough. Flanders does give us a 3 loyalty title we could give on somebody if we're really concerned. This guy would be great, I think. Catholicism, 99%. He's a very high piety general. So let's see what that does. He's got, like, tremendous piety. He's got great acumen. He's got 4 dread. That's decent, I think. So let's see. Loyalty there now is at 86%. We give him the title Duke of Flanders. That helps his loyalty. Wow, 157. That is amazing. Low, normal, high. We can go to very high taxes. That is a huge jump. Wow, okay. Truly pious, builder. Okay, so part of that is because he's a builder. Truly pious, affable is plus 30 happiness. The traits are doing the work here. That is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. I want to keep this guy. I want to retrain those Royal Knights if I ever get a chance to retrain Royal Knights. Hopefully we'll make some use of that. Okay, we're getting another ship built in Tripoli. Next season, we'll be able to extend our trade routes over to the Mertun Sea, I believe, and that'll get us another port. But we will want to keep an eye on that. There's a certain point at which it's no longer really profitable to keep that up. But I'm very, very interested that the Byzantines are now in northern Spain. Okay, I think that's it. Just trepidatiously click the end year button and see what the AI is going to throw at me now. We're basically giving up Austria in the short run to keep up pressure on the Italians. What I want Venice to do is to stick around and fight. I want the Venice army to stay put. Their king moves into Toulouse. What a jerk. So we're not going to get the ransom. Well, we may, but it's going to be a lot harder. Okay, we're evenly matched in terms of command stars, but this is the Sally out of Freezeland. I've got slight edge in archers and cav arguably, although it's pretty close. These Italian infantry are going to be a problem. Let's see how it goes. Clear and windy with wind picking up later. So I've been playing Shogun 1 lately, and was really thrilled to read that wind actually affects the accuracy of your archers in that game. I'm not sure if it does in this game. I hope so, but I have not read anything to the effect that wind impacts archery. Someone please let me know if you're watching and you have any understanding about this. But it would be a real shame if it didn't, right? Otherwise, why have wind be a feature in terms of the weather? So I'm going to clear and windy. Let's wait. Yeah, I figured that was going to be rain. Wait, fine through the... Okay, good. We got some nice weather to attack in. I know rain is bad for archery. So let's go right to our 3-line defense. Yes, I think that's going to be good. All of our archers are out front. Spearmen on the right, urban militia at the center, and to the left we've got our feudal men-at-arms, some Italian infantry, mercenaries in the back, and then we've got mounted crossbowmen. We are going to have to work those mounted crossbowmen, I think, for this to work out. So where are they? Oh, this is interesting. Okay, right there. They're right there. They're all in the woods. So we're going to have to be a little careful about this. Let me get distracted by this little charming village, though, while my men march over. As I said, we're going to have to be careful. Let's, let's just spend a little time. I always like looking at these little houses and things. Very nice. There's another house over here. So what are they going to do? They've got these 9 Royal Knights. That's their bodyguard unit. Now, I'm assuming all of their units are in this group of trees. That may not be the case. All I see right now is their cav units. There are only 2 cavalry. So they could have had them over here and hidden the other infantry anywhere. Let's move it up a little bit. Okay, there they go. Oh, that's the general, actually. I'm going to group them just because I want to slightly alter my lines. And we're going to move just to the left. I'm assuming that they're all in here. We're going to move to the left. Okay, sending the Berber camels up. They should be easy prey for our archers. Give us a nice little morale boost. And maybe the Royal Knights will throw themselves on our lines too. Wouldn't that be great? We'll go ahead and bring up the Italian infantry here. It looks like they're certainly moving in for a charge. The Berbers are firing from this far away, which is kind of surprising. Let's go ahead and get our archers going. I'm annoyed that they got 1 kill. That bothers me. But we're getting some Royal Knights. We do have to keep an eye on this. Now, another thing that I've heard is that you can tell where the armies are hidden in the trees by noticing the birds that fly up. I'm not sure how much you can use that reliably. I remember reading about that a long time ago. Khan of Steppe on his channel had a discussion of that with regard to Shogun, I believe, the first Shogun, where apparently that is the case there. And it is something that Sun Tzu mentions in The Art of War. that would seem to bear it out, right? Sometimes it seems accurate, but then again, sometimes you have other stuff, like there's birds over there too. There's birds over there. And I'm sure there's no men hidden back behind my lines, so I'm not sure how well you can really use that. All right, we're going to totally neutralize his cav, which is fantastic news. And I will use up all of these arrows to get rid of all these Royal Knights. That'll be just fine. And then we're going to move forward and hope that there's nobody hidden over here, basically. All right, that's it for that. Let's see. I possibly don't want to maintain this exact line kind of formation. Let's move up with my archers. Let's move up, in fact, kind of one at a time. I move one archer up and just menace the Zerban militia. I move this one right behind it so that if he runs after the first one, he'll be running into the line of fire of this other unit. We're going to keep them at some distance apart so that this guy will have time to fire. And then we'll see what they do over here. Alright, halt. He's marching towards me, so let's let him do that. And urban militia are pretty weak against missiles. Not seeing anyone else running out of the trees. Man, if we could take out this general right here. Now he's getting fit from 2 archer units. And pretty soon he's going to be in range of this unit as well. He is, in fact, and there they go. Alright, you're going to have to skirmish away. Perfect. Where are the rest of his men? If they came out of the woods here and rushed my lines, that would be very effective, I think. Awesome. We can totally take out this 5-star general. A lot of his men are upgraded in terms of armor, but without the impact of their general, that is going to hurt their valor. His 5 stars are giving them an extra 2 valor. So that's just a really big boost. Each point of valor does something like, is it 1 point of attack, 1 extra point of defense, an extra point of morale, maybe 2, something like that. For every 2 command stars, all of that stuff goes up. And yeah, no sign of him yet. They're all just, I'm assuming, hanging out over here. Well, we'll see. I'll do this piecemeal. I've used up, a little more than a quarter of our time. And I've only really used, 1 of my archers. Alright, I'm going to let him chase this archer unit just to entice him to get into range again. And you know what I ought to do is bring this guy over. I should have thought of this a long time ago, because he's going to rout at some point. And we may not shoot him down completely. Yeah, just 2 men left. If we can take him out, just another volley would save me a little bit of trouble. Take them off fire at will. I'd rather save the crossbow bolts for some of their other units. Alright. Yep, we're going to just wait over here. And in fact, since I've got the mounted cav, I'm going to send them into the woods just to see if we can snuff out any units that might be hiding over here. Again, I don't really think they are. It is a little annoying that it's taken this long to take out this single, basically unarmored guy. Alright, I don't think anybody's over here. There may be someone back here, though. But also the fact that he's moving means that it's a bit harder for my archers to land those accurate attacks. Alright, let's run him up. Get him within range so they don't have to keep doing this back and forth stuff.
The enemy general is dead.
There he goes, alright.
Unfortunately slain before the pox could kill him.
Did I see anything over here? Yes. There's archers, there's urban militia. Okay, guys, back here now. Back here. Alright, so now we know for sure that they're over there. Everyone else is still in a group. I'm going to take him out of it. And we're going to move this group. Oh, let's see. Yeah, let's tilt it this way. Okay, pretty decent, I think. And we'll move it up right around the road. They're being extremely cautious. It's a little annoying how slowly they're taking this. I mean, I know I'm taking it extremely slow, so I guess I can't talk, but I hate having to go into woods, you know? It is really rough. Now, I guess one kind of good thing about this is that I believe trees negate the rank bonuses that spearmen have. So if you're a spear unit, it's not just the guys in the front who are in immediate contact with their enemy who can fight. It's the guys behind them because they've got spears as well. And I think it's the front rank and then the two ranks after the front can also lend support in terms of their attack strength to an attack that you're doing. So those rank bonuses are good, but they're negated when they're in the trees. So they've got some spear units, they've got some urban militia, some Italian infantry rather, that I am fairly concerned about. And here we go. All right, they're coming out towards us now. Good, I guess. I mean, you know, it's a mixed blessing. Let's get them right here, and these guys have no arrows, so we may as well use them as flankers. We'll put you guys back on fire at will, and let's go back to skirmish. Okay. We've got spears, and let's charge them against the urban militia. Charge these guys up. I want to bring the general over here to the right. And they have a lot of archers. But if their archers stay in the trees, they're not that scary because they're not going to be doing that much damage to us. Okay, great. So that's some peasants. Let's bring these guys back over. Hit those Italian infantry. Hit those Italian infantry. Hit these. Alright, my general's in the thick of it here. And I have Italian infantry too. Let's send them around. Send you in the back, closing the bag on these Italian infantry, and that's it for them. Beautiful. Running away. Those spearmen are now running. One of my archers still have arrows. And yeah, let's just push in here into the trees. We're going to try to take out all of the units of theirs that we can. I don't know how this is going to work in terms of retreat. Like, do they have a place to retreat to? You know, clearly they don't because they haven't conquered anything of my territory adjacent to Freezeland. But they do have fleets in the area. And so the thing I'm not sure about is if those fleets are going to allow them to retreat. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Yeah, let's keep it up. Now, we may get into a bit of trouble in the woods here because, you know, you can't see exactly what's going on. Looks like those Italian infantry came back, but there's just 21 of them. So let's move up our archers just in case we need them. And the mounted crossbowmen, what are we doing? Hoping we're not actually fighting anything. I think we're just chasing routers. Yeah. Yeah, let's just keep on them, I guess. Great. This is looking good. And I don't think they have anybody in reinforcements either. Some of these units are coming back. But I think it's only very briefly. Once the other guys get closer, I mean, look at all these units that are routing. I think they're going to rout pretty soon. Let's get the mounted crossbowmen over here because I'm not so concerned about the urban militia. I want to keep the archers going. I think we've got a unit over here that is not running away currently. So let's send our archers right after that. And here we go. Maybe we can get the back of these Genoese sailors. Now, they're pretty much routed off the map. Or not routed, but they are right near the red edge. There they go. Just need a little encouragement. And who is not routing? Yep, those Italian infantry came back yet again. So we'll just send some archers right after that. That may be it. There we go. Okay, great. I'm just going to speed this up because I'm not so concerned. Again, I don't think they'll have anywhere to retreat to. And I'm not going to execute the prisoners here. We've got 303 prisoners. Let's see if we can get some ransom out of it. All right, we got Freezeland. Beautiful. No need for a siege. We lost Provence. That's fine. We lost Austria. That's also fine. And in Genoa, they retreat probably right back to the castle. Yep, okay. And here we're assaulting Milan. Okay, we've got Prince Rudolph here leading the charge. And I can't remember about his traits, but I think it's okay. Let's just move these urban militia back to the end. I think everything else there is just fine. What we're going to do is probably just send in the spearmen to try to deal with the walls. Although probably we don't need so many archers, now that I think of it. Let's save a unit or maybe even two and bring in an urban militia. Yeah, because these archers, we're just not going to need them all that much. Right? If there were wooden walls here, we could use them to shoot the walls down. I guess they could maybe shoot the gates. I'm not honestly sure about that. So we don't arguably need all of them. We can have them as reinforcements in case the urbans get too scared. How about that? But honestly, yeah, 5 units of archers is plenty. So let's command the assault. All right, and once again, we are misled about the nature of the season. But I'm guessing Milan is not snowy? Oh my gosh, we have a trebuchet. Oh, the mangonel. I completely forgot about that. Awesome. Okay. Well, we still got a bunch of archers. I should have been paying more attention. Okay, beautiful. We got a mangonel. So, we cannot turn this, I don't think. Let's see, does it say? Weapons cause fear. These tooltips sort of cycle. But yeah, this can't turn, just looking at it. But we have an arrow tower, and we've got ballista towers. The ballista towers, you can tell by the little roof, the little pointed roof here. The rest of these are just going to be arrow towers. So what we want to do is just smash this wall and maybe smash that wall, right? We want to make sure that we've got this stuff in position to kind of hit both. We could hit that castle wall, we could hit that castle wall. Great. Okay, now we may not need to break both of those, but I'm going to break this one just in case we don't need to go in here, right? They may have their entire unit back here by the keep. But with that in mind, let's bring everybody on this side. All archers, all of our urbans, and I want to save those feudal sergeants. I really do not want them to be taking any damage in this fight. Same thing with the Swabians. Swabians are just too useful on the actual battlefield, and the Royal Knights. They're just going to hang out here, encouraging from the rear. So we'll begin the battle, start hitting that castle wall, and let's see how long this takes. Alright, 9%. Not too bad. It looks like they are inside this part of the castle, but I'm just going to let this continue. If we've made a big error, but yeah, look at that. 67, great. We're not even a third of the way down in terms of our ammo. This is where it does get a little harder because you tend to miss more when the wall is shorter. So that's a problem. We might not get this. I think we need like one more hit. There we go. All right, can we do this? Let's give it a shot. Our ammo may run out before we can. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it. It's going to be close. One hit! Hey, it did it. All right, beautiful. So, where's our spearmen? Where did I put them? Okay, right up here. What we need to do is, well, I'm not totally sure where they are. I think they're right in here. Let's take it off the super speed. And let's bring in my urban militia because they are easy to replace. And we're just going to take this guy out. Try to get around him. I like the architecture here. It's you do feel like you're fighting in a different part of the world. This is not the style of buildings that I would be seeing in northern Germany. So here we are going to come under some fire. Let's see if we can race ahead. I'm just going to try to ignore him and take him out with this unit, and then we'll try to flank if we can. You're just going to hold, and you guys are marching as fast as you can down here. Alright, yeah, 56 to 75. Okay, you just heard that. That was the sound of probably this ballista tower hitting its own wall. Hitting its own gatehouse, actually. And that is a big problem. So this is why I tend not to build ballista towers, because they will hurt your own stuff. It is possible. They'll just keep trying to shoot at the enemy. And they may take out your own gate. All right, rush them in. The other two can just wait here, I guess. We're at least holding for a little while, giving them something to do so we can flank. But you can see just how costly these siege assaults are. I mean, we started taking losses up here, which is fairly close to the wall. And that's only an arrow tower. I think the ballista towers have a lot better range. I think we're kind of okay here. We may get some hits, but that's okay. We'll just keep them back. Let's speed this up.
The enemy general is
there
dead.
we go.
A blackguard gone to his deserved grave.
Beautiful. That is Milan. We've pillaged 1,200 florins of Milan, and we own the castle. It looks like it's still at the level of a castle. And in Venice, the Italians have retreated. Great, but we have it under siege. All right, good. Victory. I'm hoping that's that Italian ship. And we got some ransom. Very nice, making us 2,200 for those men that we've captured. Now, that's 457. Some of that is these guys, but I thought we only had like 303. So who else did we capture? Because it wasn't these 60 urban militia. Well, I guess we'll figure it out at some point. Oh, very interesting. We've got some unrest in Sinai. Just as a popular unrest, it could just be peasants. I guess we'll have to see. And the Byzantines are not only in Aragon, they are in Leon. For some reason, they have gone nuts after the Spanish. That is quite the showing. The Almohads, I don't know if they own Cordoba anymore. I believe the Byzantines own Aragon, but we can't quite see. fascinating stuff. Right, King of Hungary's died. Good. And notice we were not attacked by the Poles. Yes, yes, we have our ceasefire. The Polish have accepted your offer of a ceasefire. That is excellent news indeed. And, you know, I'm even thinking, can we take it one step further? Let's take a look at the alliances here. They're at war with the Hungarians, and I'm kind of rooting for them right now. If I play my cards right, maybe at some point we could get Novgorod back for the absolute spanking they gave us in the previous episode when we tried to crusade to Livonia and were defeated by an army of, you know, basically peasants with axes. Now, if the Poles are doing well in Lithuania, which they seem to, and if they manage to hold it, then they may then go on to take Prussia and Livonia for themselves. But there's always a possibility that they won't. So let's take our 3-star emissary here and try for an alliance, because I would rather have them off my back for the next 10 turns and feel confidently about that. Now, I am a little concerned about Hungary. They're fairly strong. But, you know, if I get the chance to swipe Hungary, if they seem to be causing trouble, this would actually be a kind of a nice resolution to some of my borders, right? You got 2 provinces here, and you kind of wall yourself off. Well, at any rate, now we've got to look at the strategic situation here. So we totally own Milan, which is great for the Holy Roman Empire achievement. And we've got that, we've got Silesia for part of Drangnak-Austin. Okay, let's see. Over here in Toulouse, the king is still kicking, and he could turn around and savage us up in Burgundy, right? This castle is going to hold for a while unless they assault, which they may. Public order is very high, so they may not be feeling super pressured to take it, but they've definitely got the men to do so. They completely own Provence, and so that is a problem. So what do we do about that, if anything? I'm thinking we need to do a couple of things here. One, I think we need to maybe say goodbye to Toulouse. It extends our border with the Danes and with other factions around here that I'd rather not get involved with. So I'm kind of okay if the Italian Doge, you know, isolates himself in exile in Toulouse. I don't know if he is prevented from training Italian infantry out here, but that would certainly be nice. And instead, we could have, you know, northern Italy. So we've got some armies we need to move around in order to accomplish that goal. One option might be to just move into Tuscany. So, which army do we do that with? Because they still own Provence, they could come back and smack us in Milan with this chinless wonder Prince Lorenzo. We could move these armies down into Tuscany, but I think it's possibly more important for us to try to take back Austria. Let's take a look. Hey, this guy's got 3 shields to his name now. Very nice. And let's take a look at some of our other units. This guy, though, is not looking hot at all. Yeah, let's move him up to Freezeland, and we're going to try to garrison Flanders in order to maintain, you know, to stave off aggression or interest from the English. So we'll resolve that, or try to resolve it. And how did that... all right, we're seeing some loyalty on some of our generals that we're training. Let's see, do I want to man Saxony or move this guy down south? I think since the Poles are eager for a ceasefire... Nah, I think we got to keep it. We got to keep him here. Let's see if we can switch him out, though. I'd rather have the feudal sergeant heading the stack with his higher loyalty. Okay, and yes, we're going to move the Swabian to Tyrolia just so he can go into any province. There's an argument to be made for him to be living down in Burgundy, but I'm a little concerned with how Burgundy is going to be, you know, developing. It's just adjacent to these 2 threatening provinces. I don't imagine that they're going to attack it just yet. They're more concerned probably to get back like Genoa. And I'm not sure that I want to abandon Genoa. It's a pretty good province. It's got silk. They've put some upgrades into it, including a port and a trading center. It's got a castle already. But Tuscany is for the goal, and this is where the bulk of their armies are, as well as, you know, some decent units. They don't have any place to retreat to here because there's no port, and they also can't, you know, retreat into Rome. That's owned by the Pope. So I think what I might do is just move these armies down here and give them back Genoa. Keep these armies in Milan. Let's see, do I need all these armies, though? Probably not. They've got 1 archer. They've got 2 Royal Knights, and the rest, and they've got this Italian infantry unit. So probably, see his traits, he's got none. Okay. Probably what I could do here is just take this guy. He's brave beyond belief, +3 valor, +3 morale. Great warrior. Okay, so he's going to be really useful against these Royal Knights. This guy does have just weak principles. So nothing too fantastic. These guys are both a single valor. And could this army deal with this army? I kind of think so. Meanwhile, I think we're going to possibly abandon the siege of Venice. Let's do this. You can go into Austria, and you can stay here and siege Venice. We've got total of 6 Swabian swords between these 2 units. I think we've got enough to do both things. So here we're going to be fighting uphill. They've got 1 archer, they've got some tough units, but I think we could take all of that. And here we're just going to keep Venice under siege. Mostly to prevent this army from doing anything else. Venice is not on my glorious achievements, and I don't think it ever is, so I feel a little bad taking it. And I guess you could say also that taking it might further provoke the Hungarians. It's just so annoying to let the Italians have this, where they've shown themselves to be really bad neighbors. So we've got another season. If they want to sally out and try to defeat us, maybe they can, right? But I think we could hold this off. And if not, we got it, right? Here, yeah, you can have back Genoa. You're going to have to invade it. Okay, let's move up into Freezeland and... actually, that's right. Franconia, we need to get some more men in just for the sake of keeping it happy. But our income is looking quite decent, 5907. So I'm going to go with some more feudal sergeants. I don't think I need to train anything in Brandenburg. They're not bringing a bunch of forces my way. Yep, right there will be good. And I think that's okay for now. No mercenaries currently. Let's see. We've got a zero loyalty urban militia unit, but this is going to make Bavaria have 100 men. So I think I'll keep him there just for that purpose. With regard to Friesland, what do we want to do here? I think it's, again, more important that I man Flanders than Friesland. But that guy's not going to do it, so let's move up. Let's see. Yeah, Duke of Swabia, 82 men. How's that looking? Pretty decent. Theoretically, the Italians could attack here. Let's move my ship down. Well, actually, this is going to open up trade because we've got boats to the Baltic again. So we are now trading all the way over there. So I'll keep my ship right there. That means they may counterattack us in Flanders or Friesland if they've got an unbroken line of ships, which they probably do, honestly. We do have a 3-star assassin. What would this look like? 34%. I mean, why not? Let's give it a shot. This is their ransomed army. What would this guy's chances be? 66. You know, that might be decent. Double the chances. Let's do it. Take out that prince, and then this king loses another important general. Okay, I think we're good there. Yeah, some of these princes are coming of age with decent traits, and we've got our king up to 4 influence. That is great to see. Okay, what is this? Are we at war with the rebels? I don't think we are. Ah, we are. Shoot. Okay, so that means we're not trading with these places. We can check that, just to be totally sure. We can go to our income, check Tripoli, and see if we're trading with Rhodes. And we are not. And we're not trading with Cyprus either. So, really, we've got some extra ships, is kind of what that boils down to. We can move into the Mertun Sea right here. We want to keep this ship here, actually, because we're trading with these 2 ports. But let's move this one. Again, no point in moving over here. What I'd like to do is get up into the Black Sea. So, in another turn or so, we will. Okay, yes, we want to go to very low taxes for Genoa. And I mean, like, arguably, I guess I could move one of these units, or one of these armies down, and they probably wouldn't be able to do anything about it. They could counterattack, but it wouldn't be that big of a force. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this guy, because he's a good general, in Milan. Prince Rudolph is a chinless wonder anyway. Let's send him down to Genoa. And I'm going to take the catapult with me. And let's grab some urban militia, a couple of archers. Yeah, we want to keep this guy in here, I think, because I really, really want to keep Milan. There's not that much that's here right now, but what can we train here, actually? They've got a armorer. They've almost got to feudal knights. See, this is the nice thing. The AI has been teching up this province. So we're going to get some nice benefits out of it. Let's see. I think in Milan, I'm going to want to go for feudal men-at-arms. We've just been too long without good units like that. So here, let's go ahead and merge and probably just disband this unit, disband these peasants. And maybe I'll give you like 1 infantry and 2 more archers. We're going to get another infantry unit anyway. Let's do 1 more archer. Maybe that'll bring it up to over 100. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. We'll go for archers here, and we get mercs. I'm going to hold off. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh no, there goes Poland. Oh yeah, the Hungarians are causing trouble. Egyptians attacking into Syria. We're getting counterattacked hard. And again, I keep forgetting that they are able to move their units around at will because of all their fleets. Yep, so our assassin did not make it, unfortunately. So the Poles lose Lithuania. It looks like the people of Novgorod are going to get that back. The Poles lose Poland. Okay, we're invading Austria here. Yes, we need this. We also need to see what we can do about Hungary, if anything. Can't remember if they have a lot of archers. I should have checked their composition a bit more. But yeah, we'll go with the 3-line defense. Looks silly. 3-line attack. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll group them up as I normally like to do and see what side of the map they're going to be deployed on. Jeez, I don't know. I feel like they might be up there. But This also just looks like the easier, safer route to march up. If they are up here, at least the ground is going to be a little more even by the time we get to them, but they may not be. We would be able to see the general in theory. There he is. Okay. So that's probably where they all are. Turn to face them. And we've got another archer unit. I'm going to bring him up here. Oop. And they're shooting, but so are we. Okay, I'm going to ungroup these archers, and we're going to move everybody else just over to the right. They're going to get some cheap shots on our urban militia. That's fine. The urban militia are not going to win this fight. It's going to be the Swabians, and so they can soak the arrow fire as far as I'm concerned. How are we doing in terms of fatigue? Very good, quite fresh. After that march up the hill. A little unexpected. Alright, I'm going to run in my archers just as kind of a distraction. And we're going to send the urban militia after their Italian infantry. And we're just going to charge right in here with the Swabians and hold back the Slavs. They are just going to be backup, essentially. Okay, those militia sergeants are winning easily. Let's now outflank. And that's the general too. Okay, so let's focus on him. There go some of our urbans. Our archers are chasing off theirs, which is fantastic. But a lot of our units are routing. Why is that? Alright, Swabians are not. Swabians need to hold. Alright, let's take this guy out, please. We are being routed everywhere else. Everywhere but the Swabians. These Italian infantry should be melting. They got some upgrades, but... And the militia sergeants are winning. Unbelievable. This is like a second-tier unit. Evenly matched, facing two units, outflanked in the woods, probably without their rank bonus. Hard to tell. Alright, some of our guys are regrouping. Good, good, good. Charge in the urban militia and charge in the Slavs, just to try to push this into some kind of conclusion. We do not need these archers firing at our backs while we're still fighting, so hopefully we can just end this. 5 Swabians. Look at this. Bull. Bull, bull, bull. We're going to lose this fight. We're going to lose our general. And we're going to lose these 2 units because they're going to rout too. After fighting
Your general has fallen.
absolute garbage nonsense. What is this? Come on. Okay, we had 0 valor, but oh my, come on, please. I'm going to have to go back and look at what the problem was there. I'm guessing we had some high valor guy. Jeez. That's very, very disappointing. All right. The Egyptians backed off from Syria, and we are being attacked by a massive army sent in from the sea. This is Genoa, and they've got a lot of siege equipment and archers. And I'm thinking we abandon the province, honestly. We match them in terms of archers. Well, we do beat them there, just by 1 unit. And we outvalor them. And we do have a mangonel. But they get these 2... Oh, so they got... Check out these upgrades. Bronze upgrades. So that's the 2nd level. So maybe that's part of the issue. They're just upgrading their stuff too well. And we are outnumbered like 3-1. I think that really hurts the morale too. We're going to abandon that. Okay, Genoa lost. And the Italians are attacking us outside Venice. I'm going to abandon that. We should go back to Tyrolia or possibly Milan. Tuscany, they withdraw. Okay, fair enough. You know what? I will pay that ransom. Polish want an alliance. Very nice. Prince Herman is utterly fearless. Again, this is not doing me any good down here. This guy is a chinless wonder, though. Okay. We've got some decent generals. But the Italians do too, apparently. And what's this guy's deal? Skilled assaulter. I mean, that didn't play any role at all. He had 4 command stars, but man, we really ought to be able to take this out. This is a 1-star commander. I don't think it's worth it. He's crack-brained. He's going to be really hurting morale. Do we have any mercs we could throw at it? No. And the Poles completely abandoned Poland. Now, one thing we could do here, if I were feeling at all secure, is we could, try to hit Hungary because the king is just here. We could theoretically get him to abandon the province entirely. But by the same token, he may just leave that turn. There's no guarantee, right? He might move over to garrison Carpathia for all I know. So let's instead, let's see, is it possible for us to ally with the Hungarians? Probably not, because they're allied with the Italians, so it's probably not even worth asking. But I don't think we want to open up another front. I would consider it if the Polish were under siege here, because that would get our king some nice influence, relieving the siege of an ally. But it doesn't look like we're going to have that opportunity, and unfortunately, I'm imagining that the Poles are going to be wiped out pretty soon. I don't see any princes here. They've got some guys who might serve as generals of royal blood, theoretically, but I'm not seeing any royal blood. So if this is their only king, and their only heirs are up here, then that does not bode well for them at all. So we might be seeing the end of the Polish faction, and then we're surrounded by maybe a mix of Novgorod and Hungary, both of whom might be angry at me. Okay. So what do we do here with regard to Tuscany, Genoa, Venice, and Austria? These are now my 3 big problems. Well, we've got strong forces in Milan. We didn't lose anything here, so that's a plus. We do have troop training capability here, which is also great. The dukedom only gives a single quill of loyalty, but hey, that's fine. Let's crank up the taxes and check our income, which is 1286. Pretty decent. We're up over 5,000. So honestly, things are a lot better now than they were at the end of the last episode. But we're still sort of in this weird situation where I don't know exactly how this is going to end up. I imagine that we're going to be counterattacked in Tuscany and or Milan, right? Because this army could go over here. So I think what I want to do is abandon Tuscany and take back Venice and use these forces to hit Austria. And some of these guys actually moved... Right, this is Prince Rudolph. Some of these guys moved from Venice down to Tuscany to withdraw there. Inside here, we've got urban militia. Here we've got, a decent mix of stuff, but a lot of peasants, it has to be said. And they don't have a super high star general. So I think we just keep cranking out the troops and working on upgrades. Speaking of which, let's spend a bit of cash on that right now. And here, Tyrolia can just be archers, I guess. We've got 3 Swabian swords. Let's try this. Let's take... So there's really just 3 units here, right? There's 2 units. And there's a bunch more. These are the ransomed guys. And this is obviously not ideal, but it's another unit of archers, another unit of urbans, another unit of Swabians. Let's see if that works out. We'll go ahead and lower the taxes a little bit there. Lower the taxes down in Tuscany, and we'll hold around Milan. It's tempting to sort of try to hit Provence, but not with these forces here. We've still got some time to take back Tuscany if I feel like it's really necessary. Let's make sure we've got our more loyal spearman unit at the top of that force. And over here, yeah, things are looking pretty decent. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to go back with that. And actually, we're going to need to get our trade stuff reestablished in Flanders. So it's probably not worth the keep and curtain wall upgrade. We'll go with a trader and then a port, and then we'll get another ship because we can't train that currently. We can't make any boats over here at all. I guess we could start that in Freezeland. Yeah, let's do it. We've got the money. Right, Saxony. Let's see. Since I'm growing less and less worried that Poland is going to try something nuts, let's move him down over to Brandenburg, and then you can go down to Silesia, I guess, where the Hungarians are now potentially causing some trouble. Let's go ahead and go with the archery. That's going to allow us to get the metalsmith, I think. But in the meantime, what do we want to train? Probably another unit of spears. But we'll work on getting that upgraded. Okay. These long thinking turns by the AI are just making me nervous. Alright, another big attack, this time on Volhynia. And the Danes are moving up into Anjou, which is problematic. Italians are moving stuff around in northwest Italy, but look at all their fleets in the Western Med. That's just crazy. Okay, we're going to have to retreat to the stronghold here. I mean, we could do some damage to their bows, but I'm afraid that we're going to lose too many men, so I'd rather keep my armies intact. All right, Austria, they're withdrawing to the castle. In Venice, they're withdrawing to the castle. We've lost Tuscany. The Byzantines are in Portugal. And we're about to lose Toulouse. Okay. Well, let's see. We've got another feudal man-at-arms. It'll hold out for more than 5 years, so I think we're going to just go ahead and assault that. We're seeing marginally better loyalty in our generals that are being recruited. It's not great, but it is better than it was. Alright, that's a very, very low valor archer unit, and yes, he's going to go right under the command of that spearman. Yeah, I still think Swabians are the better buy. I think, though, the issue is we haven't been arming them. We haven't been upgrading carefully like we should. So speaking of upgrades, Saxony, ultimately, if we live long enough, we're going for Gothic Knights. I think that's going to require some armorer stuff anyway, so we may as well start on that. And I'm going to start to make up for some of the errors that I've made with regard to upgrades. Now, I may, review this later on and come to the conclusion that, well, maybe there was not that much that I could have done anyway. Right? It could be that that I needed to spend on the economy and other stuff, and I needed to train a bunch of cheap troops because I'm surrounded by a bunch of potential enemies, and so you end up having to spend a lot more money on military than you would think. So it could be that I made all the right moves, no move a wrong move. But probably not, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. But for this, yeah, looking at the numbers here, look at the size of the banners, it looks like maybe I made a mistake withdrawing from that fight. Now this is about to fall. We could try something a bit crazy. We could go with a Like, leave the peasants here. It's technically under siege. And swipe over to Provence and then try to get the king. Right? That seems like a crazy move. They're not going to expect it. They don't have large forces in the borders right now. So that might be possible to make something happen that way. Now, they may move men into Provence. That's the other thing. But I'm not totally sure. Oh, he's got the survivor trait now. Very nice. So, wait, that's the Prince Lorenzo, who I tried to assassinate. Having survived an assassination attempt by killing the assassin with a cooking spit, he is very keen to practice combat with a wide variety of weapons and kitchen implements, to the detriment of his other duties. +1 valor, -1 acumen. So we made him a bit tougher than he was before, but we made him a bit dumber too. So that's kind of nice. He's not a governor or anything, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Alright, nothing really good for mercenaries here. But yeah, I think this would be pretty formidable. So if they don't move a bunch of stuff in here in support, then that could be a good bet of getting their king isolated and maybe getting a nice fat ransom. It looks like the Poles did win in Volhynia, though, I'm noticing in the upper right-hand corner. At least for now, but the fact that the Hungarians are able to move so many big troops around really suggests their king went to Flanders. Wow, okay. Alright, Freezeland invaded. It's a couple of archers. It's a understrength unit of feudal sergeants, and it is the Royal Knights unit of Prince Pietro. I kind of feel like defending this one. Don't know how it's going to go over. Probably going to lose, but it's way up north, and I feel like every kill we get up here is just kind of harder for them to deal with, because there's a chance that they could run into a storm at sea that's going to sink one of their ships, or they just move a boat somewhere and they can't rely on it anymore. So we'll go ahead. We've got our units in the trees here. That's going to make life harder for both their archers and their Royal Knights. They're going to start off firing at us. But it's also rainy, so that's good. I've got 5 valor on this spearman unit. But my 100 spearmen are uncertain already. So this is obviously not off to a very good start. I don't think this Royal Knights unit has much, though, in terms of valor or combat ability. And so, I'm thinking maybe engage at will would be the better way to go. They're going to get this 100-man unit in the back? No, I guess not. Okay. We're doing a lot better than I thought. This is an upgraded feudal sergeants. I think it started off with 40-odd men and armor. I think just the single armor upgrade. And they have not routed yet. I really want them to, so I can turn and deal with the Royal Knights, who are now hitting my general unit in the back. Got 2 archer units. I believe just 2. Already losing some Royal Knights. Here comes a Berber camel, no doubt extremely confused at the lush terrain. I think they get penalties there. These feudal sergeants are now winning easily for some reason, and here come the archers. So I'm just going to speed this up. Oh, wow, okay. Going a little better than I thought. Oh, wow. All right. Hey, there we go. There we go, the enemy fleeing the field. I did not expect that that was going to work. Awesome. All right, we saved Freezeland from the camel invasion. And here's Flanders. Now, this is their Doge, Doge Marino the First. He's got his son with 6 royal bodyguards, 2 valor there. He's got 21 himself. No valor, however. We've got some armor upgrades, and we've got some archers. But we outnumber them, you know, pretty handily here. We do not outman them, though, in terms of melee. So we're going to have to play keep away and hope that, well, actually, yeah, they've got better archers than we do. Not better valor, but better defended. Well, we can do our best, and if we can kill the Doge or ransom him, then that would be great. So they're choosing to attack in the wet weather. I guess that makes sense. And we're here right on the beach of Flanders. We do not have a lot of trees to help us. I don't know, honestly, that it would really help us that much in this one. And this map I'm not a big fan of because it's a lot of flat. The only hill really is way up here against the back of the map. So we've got a little knoll over here. But they're going to appear like in the trees, and maybe that's where we ought to sort of set up. Right outside the trees, but able to shoot into them so that, you know, anything that comes out is going to get that arrow fire. Let's move the 5 over to the side here, I guess. And yeah, our units are looking really, really ragged. And I think this is just about as good as we're going to be able to do it. Move our cab over here. And that is everybody. Okay, so they're over here a bit more. And we will just turn to face them. We've got such a minor rise that I'm not sure if it even counts as being on a hill. Alright, what are they doing? Alright, it's going to be an archer duel. Let's run forward and focus them down. This is the problem here. 21 Royal Knights is going to do a heck of a lot of damage regardless of valor. And then these 99 Italian infantry with all these upgrades, it's also a big problem. But let's see. We do have our mounted crossbowmen who are firing already. And we can get our Italian infantry up. I'm just very concerned about my urban militia's morale. Not to mention the Slav units. Right, we are taking some hits, or we are doing some damage. A Royal Knight unit has routed. Alright, let's not get greedy here. We're going to stop him with my urban militia, hit him with another unit of urbans. 20 Royal Knights. We're going to need to hold off their Italian infantry, though. Alright, all these guys need to halt because they're probably choosing crazy targets. Let's see. Get around over here. Let's get this guy around and over to the side. Alright, those archers are going to get caught, unfortunately. Urban militia are soon to rout. 3 Royal Knights. Oh man, if only we could hold them. Come on this way. Italian infantry are actually losing. Really unexpected. It's probably going to change in a second or so. We're just firing down the Royal Knights. I know I'd like to capture this king. Like in theory, but I don't know how realistic that is. Switch targets to some archers and keep hitting the Royal Knights unit. These archers could close in, and that could be a big problem. There he goes. All right, let's push out. This is going to be the moment. Yep, they're starting to break. Okay, everybody's running. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so the Italian Doge is now dead. Now he's got that one-star son of his who we failed to assassinate. There may be other princes, but he may be the one to take over. It's a little annoying that they are attacking Flanders so doggedly. I'm not sure exactly what that's about. Is it just that I'm the player? You know, it does feel that way sometimes. It could be that, you know, they are just interested in the trade. They are a trade faction, so to speak. So that could be all that's going on. But we'll see if they continue this. To throw their king up here really seemed just like a terrible idea. Right, Provence, they're retreating. We've got Provence back, and we pillaged 575, which includes the fort. All right, we're assaulting Vienna. All right, let's do this. Just 22 archers in there. I'm tempted to auto-resolve it. Yeah, let's do that. Now, that's probably we would have done about that bad anyway. All right, and unfortunately, we ended up tearing down a bunch of stuff. We destroyed 2 facilities and damaged another one. Okay, it looks like the Byzantines have taken Palestine, which means we're now surrounded, and we're being attacked. They're sallying out from Venice. I'm just going to abandon this. And ransom refused. The Italian Doge has been replaced. Tyrolia is about to fall. Did I forget to attack Tyrolia? I think I did. Okay. We lost Toulouse. Well, we were trying to get Austria. I think that was the more... seemed like the more pressing threat at the time. We've got time now to go back and get Tyrolia. Okay, we've got some Spanish zeal increase and Catholicism. Lots of bad traits. This guy is a great builder, which is fine, I guess, but everything else is pretty bad. Although this guy, we've got clever with words. Okay. We no longer need to worry about Toulouse, right? I mean, in the sense that, A, it's not held by us anymore. B, the king's not there anymore. C, this guy's got low loyalty. D, his units are kind of bad. So let's just ignore that. I'm also thinking about ignoring Provence. Why bother with it, right? Get taxes down to very low here, and I want to just keep going. I want to get Tuscany. That would be the ideal. But I think what we want to do here is stop for this episode, as much as I don't want to. I just want to keep going to see what's going to happen. What I was hoping is that we would get some sort of resolution on the Italian war, but it's going to take longer than I thought. They've got more armies and they've got the mobility, which is really the problem here. We don't have any answer to that currently. We're going to have to take over a place with coastal access and then get shipping facilities online. That's going to take a long time, and the Venetians just outmatch us, the Italians rather. So we're going to hope to clear them out, maybe get a civil war going, but it's going to be a little bit of this swapping provinces back and forth. At least on our eastern front, we've taken Silesia, right? That's not that great, but we're no longer at war with the Poles. I would love to think that they could outlast the Hungarian and Novgorodian assault, but I'm thinking that their days are numbered. They went from having 3 or 4 stacks out here in Volhynia just to having 2, and while they've got good governors, their units and their production capability are now cut, you know, down to like a quarter of what they were at the beginning of the episode here. You can see the Hungarians already training in Poland. So we're seeing the beginnings of a Hungarian emergence, and this is going to be a problem for us in the sense that they're allied with our enemy, and we are allied with their enemy, right? The other issue, of course, is in the Middle East, where the Byzantines are currently neutral with us, so are the Egyptians, but the Byzantines are in the ascendant. They're showing no signs of slowing down. We can at least move our ships. We've got one more we can move up here, and although the upkeep costs are going to go up, we can move one more up here, and then next season we're going to have a ship in the Sea of Marmara, and then the season after that we're going to go for one more fleet. That'll get us into the Black Sea. We're not at war with any of these factions yet, I don't believe, and so we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ports for trade. So that should help us maintain our economy, which is doing fairly well. But hopefully we're going to have our southern border settled. Maybe we can even eventually get to the point where we can deal with these Italian fleets and just bring them down, cut them down to size to a manageable level. I'd like to have them isolated on these islands for a while, maybe at Toulouse. Maybe they could have Venice, but it's looking like that's not going to be feasible. So at any rate, we'll revisit this in the following episode. I hope to see you then. Until then, take care.